Hey everyone, and welcome back to OntarioCryptids. I hope everyone had a great week. It has been a pretty mild, wet October so far. Time to start cleaning out my garden beds and put the deck furniture away for the winter. I know I said it, winter. Before I forget, this is episode number 80, so as usual, I will be thanking those who have commented regularly on my last 5 videos. So without further ado, a special shout out goes out to Bender, Jean, and Sky King. Thank you guys so much for commenting. Also, thanks to all the recent subscribers and the rest of you who come back each week to watch these episodes. Thank you all so very much. Today I have 3 stories to share with you all, and they're all from Michigan. Michigan borders the province of Ontario to the west, and it's separated by Lake Huron, Lake St. Clair, and Lake Erie. I know I have some viewers from Michigan, so I hope you guys enjoy these stories. As you know, I'm always looking for great stories to be shared on this channel. So if you have a story that you would like to share in a safe environment, then forward your encounter stories to OntarioCryptids@gmail.com. All right, you guys know the drill. Go grab yourself a beverage and get cozy on the couch or chair and sit back and relax. Okay, so here's the first story of the day. It takes place January 30th of 2021. It takes place in Menominee County, Michigan, and the nearest town is Faithorn. And so let's get cracking. We were coyote hunting, and when we first sat down, my buddy says, "Did you hear that?" I said, "Hear what?" Then he said, "It sounded like a wood knock." I didn't think much of it, and I went on to call for about 30 minutes. After 30 minutes of calling, I stand up to sign the field's edge, and when I sign, I see 2 huge glowing eyes, like a yellowish bright color. I've never seen that before, and it was high enough off the ground. My first thought was the landowners put a reflective sign in a tree. So I scope in on it, and I realize whatever it was hiding behind a tree looking around it. So my buddy starts scoping in on it too. Then it proceeds to crouch down, low to the ground, and look around the other side of the tree. Then it disappears for about 10 seconds and pops up 10 yards to the right of where it first was seen, and it was looking around a tree again. And when we all scoped in on it, we all clear as day witnessed it crouch down like a person, and it vanished. I've been in the woods all my life, and I've seen all sorts of eye shine, and tonight I've seen the unexplainable. All right, so this is the second story of the day, and this one takes place on August the 1st of 2020. It takes place in Sanilac County, Michigan, and the nearest town is Port Sanilac. On August the 1st of 2020, my 3 sons and I were out for a day trip drive along the Lake Huron shoreline north of Lexington, Michigan. There's many stretches of wooded areas on the lake side of the road, and rural farmland on the west side along this route. At approximately 12:50 p.m., 1.5 miles south of Port Sanilac, Michigan, we were driving northbound on M25, and my oldest son, 15 years, seated next to me in the front, said, "Oh my God," and I stared straight ahead. I was still driving, and I asked him what was wrong. He didn't initially answer, and his 13-year-old brother seated behind him in the back seat also asked him what was the matter. He finally spurted out, "I just saw a Bigfoot." I thought he was joking at first, as he's always been a notable skeptic of my interest in Sasquatch research. But he adamantly insisted he was not kidding and described what he saw in the woods on the east side, lakeside of the road. He said he saw a large dark figure walking south through the woods. He says it was too dark in the canopy of the woods to see a face, but the reason he noticed it at all was that it was moving exactly like the figure in the old grainy footage that everyone always talks about, the Patterson footage. He says the arms were longer than its torso, and that he could tell it had fur much in the same way you can tell a dog has fur from a distance, and that it wasn't skin that he was seeing. It was definitely walking and not standing still. Its arms were swinging. He guesses that it was around 100 yards or less away. He estimates that it was around 8 feet tall. He says his impression of it made him feel short. My son is 6'2". He says it had very broad shoulders. He was able to watch it for approximately 5 seconds as we traveled in the opposite direction that it was headed. As soon as he told me what he had seen, I turned around and drove back to the location. Traffic was moderately steady, being a summer Saturday afternoon, so it took a couple of minutes to return to the exact spot, and then find a safe spot nearby to pull over. We didn't see anything at that point, but pinned the area on my GPS. And so the area that you're seeing in the map is the exact location. All right, this is the last story of the day, and this one also takes place in the month of August, but it takes place in 2010. So this takes place in Schoolcraft County, Michigan, and the closest town is Boot Lake or Shingleton. Okay, right off the bat, I'm going to just mention that the story is written almost maybe in hunting terms. And please let me know if I'm correct with that. The sentences are structured really weird. But in any case, let's have a go at this last story. My son-in-law and I were hunting across Clair Lake, a few miles off Highway 94, next to Green Lake. We were running our hounds on coons that night. There is a lot of country past Green Lake up into Hickey Marsh and eventually the Sinay. I had noticed partridge remains where we parked. I didn't think much about it. The hounds were gamey right out of the box. I cut a young hound and a proven hound in, both with a lot of grit. When they struck, I had the feeling we weren't running coons, but rather a bobcat. It took about 20 minutes and they treed. We proceeded to the dogs, and right before the tree, the critter bailed. Cats bail when they see lights, like bears do at night when we run them. The dogs pulled tree and gave chase again, treeing deeper and way deeper. My son-in-law went to the truck to holler me out if needed. I kept the tracker with me. I'm now in marsh with a mixture of spruce, cedar, bog, and popple. The dogs treed deep. I went to a high spot to vantage my hearing on them, a thick wooded ridge. My radio tracker could barely read them and barely read the extra collar at the truck. Its range in the wooded area is about 7 miles. I kept swinging it around slowly, trying to gain a good reading. I could smell something foul, but thought it was myself after falling in swamp muck on more than one occasion. Again, while swinging my tracker and my coon light in the direction of the antenna, I noticed in the spruce a set of eyes next to the deer run on the ridge. Coon hunting, you see a lot of different eye shine. I shrugged and swung the tracker. When I swung back onto the trail towards the truck, the trail was filled with an animal 20 feet in front of me. It was around 8 feet tall, long arms with fingers, barrel-chested, and a pot belly. The eyes were close and deep-set, but aggressive in its gaze. The mouth was agape. My goodness, the ears were small. I froze in my tracks. I lost my training of the hound's call. We just looked at each other, frozen. It grabbed a very large spruce, wrapping its hands around it. Its hair was black to brown, not long, not short, the nose flat, with a face not covered in hair like its body. I really don't remember how it left. I remember the smell followed me all the way to the truck, just up the trail where my son-in-law met me. He commented, "I passed gas," jokingly. I was very shaken. I had a hard time reading my tracking system on the way back. I doubted my compass. It wasn't the straightest path back. To this day, I haven't ran hounds up there for coon or bear since. As well, it was the only time I left my hounds in the woods. In the morning, after sleeping a bit, I rode up, nervous as hell, to try and find the hounds by myself as my son-in-law went to work. Thank the Lord they were treed in the beechwoods 30 feet off the gravel road with the prettiest sleeping bobcat you've ever seen in the tree. I have hunted bear, bobcat, coon with my hounds. I'm a trapper and an outdoorsman. My church is the timber. I had a legally owned pet bear. I truly understand all Ursus americanus. This wasn't Ursus. I hope everybody enjoyed these 3 stories today. I have to say the first story sounded very familiar to me in the sense that I thought I may have said it before, but I have not. This is a different story, but I guess in some sense, these stories all have a lot of similarities to them. So in saying that, guys, that is going to be it for today. I have to get back to doing some housework and some garden work. So if these stories reminded you of an encounter that you may have had and would like to share, then please forward your stories to OntarioCryptids@gmail.com. I would be honored to share your story on this channel. Thank you all for listening until the end. I truly appreciate it. And please hit that like button on your way out and smash that subscribe button if you're new to my channel. Now, the only thing that's left to say here is have a great day, and we will see you all next week.